Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project on Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Sunday, June 23rd, 9 p.m. Mountain Time, 2024. An M9.3 solar flare from our old friend X3664. As it turns around the limb as new active region 3723, things could be heating up this week. Keep calm. It's boom time. Heat blasts the east with 100 plus degrees as floods swamp the Midwest. Let's get into it. More than 100 million Americans are under heat advisories or warnings from the National Weather Service. Not all the big heat was in the east. Triple-digit high temperatures are possible in Central and Southern California, Arizona, and Utah as well. The heat was global. The toll of Muslims who died while taking part in the annual Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca in Saudi Arabia, where temperatures climbed as high as 120 degrees, has risen to 1,300. Now on to flooding in Iowa and South Dakota. In Iowa, Governor Kim Reynolds declared a flooding emergency in 21 counties and requested an expedited presidential disaster declaration. She flew over parts of northwest Iowa where towns were awash in water, rivers cresting above the 1993 record levels, and the devastation is widespread. Now, I shared my perspective. I was in Iowa in 93. I couldn't remember what year it was, and I was doing a photo documentary for Temple University with my mentor, and we were allowed into all of the areas that were shut off and evacuated. It was a fantastic time. Unfortunately, the devastation was amazing. So I can't imagine if there are towns that are worse off than in 1993. In South Dakota, Governor Kristi Noem declared an emergency after storms that blasted parts of the state with up to 18 inches of rain over the last few days. The rain was slowing down, but we need to keep vigilant. The worst of the flooding along our rivers will be Monday and Tuesday, she said. So we'll keep a close eye on the flooding in South Dakota for you, so stay tuned for updates. Here's an update on the South Fork and salt fires, which are consuming the towns, or definitely surrounding the towns of Ruidoso Downs. As of Sunday, June 23rd, suppression efforts remain ongoing. About 800 firefighters on site, significant resources dedicated to managing these fires. A community meeting is scheduled for tonight where residents can receive crucial updates and engage with local authorities. They're actually allowing full-time residents to return tomorrow morning, but you have to be a full-time resident. With containment efforts progressing and weather conditions evolving, it's essential for everyone to stay informed and take the necessary precautions. You can see the town of Ruidoso is still surrounded by all this red. This red line means uncontained. It's only the black line where it's contained. So Sierra Vista is safe. Sun Valley is currently safe. Good news there, but they need to work on this line here west of Ruidoso and the line here on the salt fire south of Ruidoso to keep the town, both towns, Ruidoso and Ruidoso Downs, safe. So cross your fingers, send a prayer out, and pray for those smoke jumpers and those hot shots. And here is the full forecast. Severe weather in the northeast, intense hail in the mid-Atlantic and portions of the west. Severe thunderstorms and heavy rainfall are likely across portions of the northeast. An intense heat wave will continue across the mid-Atlantic, but it looks as if there is a break coming, where record temperatures are likely. In the west, triple-digit high temperatures are possible in central and southern Cali, Arizona, and Utah. Monsoon-like conditions may produce isolated flash flooding in the Four Corners region. Hasn't rained today, but it looks pretty good outside. Take a look. So you can see some of these pop-up storms here. If I move it through in the next 3 hours, it's about over by morning. No more precipitation in the Four Corners region. As far as the west of the U.S., we've got severe storms up in Maine currently. Take a look at that, as well as eastern Canada, and a line of precipitation that will be moving through tonight and will be gone by the morning. Pretty quiet pattern. Some severe weather moving through the northern tier here through early and midweek. And it's not till we get to Wednesday, June 26th, where severe weather explodes in the central U.S. Seismic update. One quake of note, a 6 magnitude in Venezuela. It was at a depth of 74.8 kilometers, so probably very little damage from that, and very few felt it. A moderate uptick in activity in the west of the U.S. Take a look at that. Nothing significant. A significant rumbler in the Kamchatka, 5.2, 42 kilometers north-northeast of Yeliznovo in Russia. Overall, pretty mild activity with a moderate uptick. Worldwide volcano news for Sunday, June 23rd. Toby to 9,000 feet today. Sabancaya puffing to 20,000. Fuego to 17. Ibo to 20,000. Reventador, 15,000 foot puff. The effusive eruption that commenced on the 29th of May on the Reykjanes Peninsula north of Grindavik appears to have stopped, which is good news for the townsfolk, as the lava was so effusive and pervasive that it breached some of those gigantic lava walls and was pouring in towards the geothermal plant there. So, good news that the eruption is over. Reventador, 15,000 foot puff, Sabancaya to 21. Who knew? Now you do. Toby puffing to 6,000 foot today. Fuego to 17. Reykjanes has stopped, and that's good news. Dukono puffing to 8. Sangay to 21. And that wraps up worldwide volcano news for the day. As we jump over to space weather news, our old pal AR3664, which gave us the May 2024 superstorm, is now back for the third time. It came back for the second time as active region 3697, and for the third time now around the disk, it's now 3723, and it's still active. Well, of course it is. A near X flare earlier today, an M9.3 was detected as the spot is still on the backside around the limbs, so could be getting spicy in the coming days. 3-day geomagnetic forecast is all quiet, and you can see that impulsive flare right there. How do you like that? How do you like them apples? And there we can see a better look and why they call it an X-flare. Well, it was almost an X-flare. Climate engineering off the U.S. coast could increase heat waves in Europe, a study finds. And in fact, they're talking about geoengineering, which is kind of interesting because they call it climate engineering now, as if to soften the nomenclature. But scientists are now calling for regulation to stop the regional use of marine cloud brightening, which could have a negative effect elsewhere. Well, duh. Have you seen the thermodynamics map? It might be burning up on the East Coast, but it's below normal in the Pacific Northwest. Because in a system, a closed system of temperature, when it's hot somewhere, it's got to be cold somewhere else. Here is the paper, Diminished Efficacy of Regional Marine Cloud Brightening in a Warmer World. Complete garbage because they're talking about global warming and the fact that if there was no global warming in this paper, the premise would still be true. So why do they include it? Makes absolutely no sense. It's simply a fear porn propaganda piece, like most articles we read every day. Here's another article coming from Ag Review. A new genetically engineered potato has been developed and has gotten through the loopholes for human consumption. Yes, it's true. A new genetically engineered potato developed by Michigan State University, the new devil, the new Satan potato breeder, Dave Douche, has been granted exemption from the biotechnology regulations placed on genetically modified products by the U.S. Department of Agriculture and Plant Health Inspection Services. And to make matters worse, this Cali 91.3 potato is bred for making potato chips. They won't have to put it on the label as genetically modified. This is the world we're living in. If you got money, you can get anything you want, and you can poison the entire population. You know how to stay unpoisoned? Grow your own food. The Alliance of Native Seed Keepers provides the cheapest seeds on earth, open-pollinated, non-GMO heirloom seeds, which you can seed save year after year. $2 per pack, buy $25 or more, free shipping. Add coupon code ORP2024 and get an additional 10% off. Go get them. and stay alive and thrive. You want to stay alive and thrive with Diamond and Alien Allen? Join us in just about 10 days at the Crestone 4th of July celebration in Crestone, Colorado, where we will be pimping in Town Park, unique, united, and undivided in Crestone Town Park, July 4th, 2024, noon to 7:30. So check it out if you're in the neighborhood. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video. We need your help as we are shadow banned and we are not shared by the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel so you get all of our updates and click the bell. And be well. We love you. Be safe. And that is a boom.